Yes, hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to explain what extension we need in VS Code to be able to use our Salesforce projects. First, let's open our VS Code. And in my current profile, under my current profile, I have a lot of extensions that I installed previously, but I need to have a new profile. And let's create a new profile. The default one, which I currently use, another one is Salesforce Development, but it's empty. There is no extension here, but let's create from scratch. Profiles and new profile, and let's name it as like this. And yeah, all we have, and just create. Okay, it's already created. We can close this window and we can now open our newly created profile. Now let me close the current folder, current project, and I'm going to open our new, let me open from open folder and desktop, Salesforce projects, and it's this one. Let me check one more time. Yeah, this is default. That's why I see all my installed extensions. I need to change this again. Yeah. And we have nothing. We have no extension installed in this profile. And now what we need is we need to install some of the extensions to be able to develop our projects. First, let me go back to my browser, and I have prepared a table like this, the workflow format, and what extensions we need for Salesforce development. First, we need to install Salesforce CLI, command line tool. We are going to install this, and then after installing this, then we need to install Salesforce extension pack, and then Apex PMD, which is basically a linter that checks, analyze our code, and suggests some improvement. And I put some description what it does, and also Java SDK installation. Actually, version 17 is the proper one, and we are going to install this. And then Java path configuration on VS Code, how we configure our Java path in our Visual Studio Code. And let's get started step by step. First, Salesforce CLI, and this is our link. Let's put this link. I've already installed this, but I'm going to show you how we can do this. If you are using Windows, you can directly use these links. But if you are using Mac or Linux, you can download other ones. I'm going to install the Mac version. Yeah, it's installing now. Yes. And this is the setup wizard, and we are going to continue installing. You can also implement the same scenario in Windows or Linux machine. Continue, and you can change the install location, but keep it default. Next. It's gonna probably overwrite my previous version, but installation is successful. Then you can, you can delete the file, the installation, unable to move. Okay. And once we install this command line tool, we need to give that path in our Visual Studio Code. First, let me close this one. And let's open settings. We need to make sure that we are under the newly created profile. And let's open settings. Under settings, let me check one more time. Yeah, we have already created. Okay, no, yeah, we don't need to do anything further in this case. We already installed on our computer. And now let's check Salesforce extension pack. Here under extension tab, Salesforce extension, we are using, yeah, we have bunch of packages, bundle. Some of them are bundle, it contains 20 sub package. You can think like that. This one 27. We are going to continue with the 21, this 20 package, and we are going to install this. Just install this. And next one is Apex PMD. This is also an extension. Once the first extension is done, and then we are going to continue with that. It's a static source code analyzer used to check Salesforce, Apex, and Visualforce code for bugs. And also it gives us some suggestions about the code improvement. And also it acts as a automated linting tool that enforces best practices and saves developer time during code reviews. This is done. Let's continue with Apex PMD. And we are going to install this. You can also check the documentation, the features, and other, configuration settings, things like that. This is also done. It's installed. And we need to install Java SDK installation. This is from Oracle site. This is command line interface that we have already installed. Yeah. Java SDK installation, we can directly write Java SDK installation, especially the version 17. It redirects us to the Oracle's page. Yeah, we can select our operating system. If you are using Mac, you can use this one. You can directly click this link, Windows 64 x64 installer. And I'm going to continue with macOS DMG installer. Disk image, DMG stands for disk image installer. I'm going to install this. And once you install the Windows version, you need to use actually installation setup wizard will redirect you to how you can proceed with the configuration. You can simply follow that. A newer update already exists. Yeah, it's already installed because I've already installed for my previous profile in my Visual Studio Code. And once you have no this Java development kit already in your system, that's you are not getting this kind of error in your system. You just simply follow the next button, and you can simply install the Java development kit in your computer. And let me close this one. And now yeah, I already installed this, and we need to define the installed Java development kit to our Java path configuration on VS Code. So simply we can follow this path, settings, extensions, Salesforce Apex configuration, and then Java home. We need to go to settings and then type here extensions, or you can directly use this one. And here, Salesforce Apex configuration here, as you see that, and we have Java path. Actually, I don't have a Java path entered over this text box because this is new one. But in my previous profile, I have already the path over here, and we directly use this path. Just copy the entire path and paste it. But all we need is change this section. We need to change this section with our own one. Let me check one more time. JDK 17012. Just like this, and no need to do anything further. That's it. We don't have any save button. It's already saved under this profile, and we can close this. And also let me quickly show you my default one. Here, settings, extensions, Salesforce Apex configuration, and this is my pre-installed Java development kit, like this one. And let me switch back to the main profile for using Salesforce projects. And now everything is done. Currently, we don't define any class or any UI element. Okay, let's simply open our org, and everything is done for now. Let's test it now. We can create, we have done with our installation configuration and anything else. So we can simply create a class or to be able to test this. Let's create a new terminal. Here we can check what we have done so far in the project. We can create Command Shift P. Let's say create Apex class. It's already appeared on the palette. SFDX, Salesforce development. Actually, we can create a class using this command or directly use on the terminal. Let's create default Apex class, and we can name it as first class YouTube. Yeah. This is just for testing. We are not doing anything currently. We don't implement any project or any task. We are just doing a kind of check with our installed extensions. For example, we installed Apex PMD. Apex PMD is already here, and it warns us if we do something in a wrong way, or we are not follow the best practices, then it's going to warn us about that. And yes, string, it returns a string, and instead of string, let's say void, say hello system.debug. System debug debugs the text on the console, but Salesforce console. We can also check it out over here. Under logs, once we run this, we are gonna get the result. We have already covered this in the previous video, but let me first show you from Apex. Here, let's remove this, and public static. This is static method. That's why we can directly use the method just using its class name. We are getting the class name dot say hello, and once we run this command, execute. Actually, once we install the extension, normally it shows us the execute button over here. Just it's a kind of text, but it's a button. Once we click that button, it executes what we have in this file. Actually, something went wrong with our installed extensions. I need to first, let me I didn't save this first. Let me save. Yeah, the linter is working now. As you see, the yellow underline is appearing, and when you hover over it, missing apex dog command. This is coming from Apex PMD. And once we put some documentation on top of this method, it's going to be totally removed. This yellow line totally removed, and this one is working. And let's save this file too. File, save. Yeah, extension actually seems like it's not working, but I think all I need is close the VS Code and reopen it to be able to make the extensions working properly. Let me reopen it. Yeah, I think define in VS Code settings point to a missing folder. Yeah, that's why I think, yeah. This is the version 17, not 17.0.12. That's the missing part. Let me show you quickly. Yeah, the button that I mentioned, this one. Once I click this execute, it's automatically execute this line of code. But in our Salesforce development YouTube profile, we have no execute button. But let's first check settings, extensions, Salesforce Apex configuration, and this path, I'm going to directly copy this path and use it on our newly created profile. Again, it warns us that the path is missing folder. We don't have that one. So again, settings, extensions, Salesforce Apex configuration, and I change this. Yeah, only 17.jdk. That's all. And let's click update. We can close this one. We have covered all the items. Yeah, as you see that the buttons, debug and execute button, is already here, and VS Code notifies us that we want to install any recommended extensions. Currently no. And we have already saved this, but we didn't deploy it to the salesforce.com. We need to first deploy this. After we deploy this, we can check it on the Apex classes. Let me quickly show you that. Here, let's open setup. We can type Apex classes. Under Apex classes, we will be able to see all the Apex classes that we deployed previously. But you can see that we have, let me check. These are coming from the Salesforce package, but we don't have any custom Apex classes, just like we have in this example. And what we need is right click and Salesforce DX deploy this source to org. We are deploying the source to org, and let's refresh the page. Yeah, first class YouTube is here. Before deployment, we don't see anything, but we can now see it. And once you click it, you can see the content of the code. You can see the content of the code. Something like this. And let's put some comments. Let's say the method below says hello to the user. Instead of hello, say hello, let's say hello user. And this is going to be the user name. Let's give some string name and plus name. Whatever we give as a name, it's going to say hello, that name, something like this. And below says hello to the user with the given name or username, anything like that. And we always keep this with sharing, and this white dot indicates that we haven't saved yet. The file has been saved yet. First we need to save this, or use command S. It's saved, and it's, again shows us the yellow line under the method name. And let's deploy. After we deploy, we will be able to see the comment and all the changes that we have so far. And let me show you again. Yes, like this one. This is our Apex class, and it is active. The status is active. And let's see the logs. Let's put some name as Jack. And I'm going to execute this. Let me save Command S and execute this. Void say user. Yeah, we don't have this say hello, say user. And execute this again. Yes. And success. We can see on the debug log, hello Jack. And we also see the debug logs over here. Let me quickly show you. This is all the logs we are seeing locally. This is the local area. This is not coming from our org. And we have something debug here. Let me check debug. Yeah, debug here. Under the debug statement, we can say hello Jack. Just something like this. Yeah, that's all for this video. We will be having on the next one.